So morning yogis, just lying or seated, however you want to start. And just if you can, grab yourself a yoga strap because we will do hammock later and we'll need that for that particular pose. But as you begin, just begin to settle. Relax. Take a moment to notice how much tension you're holding. Physically, perhaps even emotionally. Checking in with how busy your mind is right now. Nice deep breath. And noticing how much energy you have today. Whether you're fully charged, full of beans, or whether you just need to sort of conserve some energy. It's a very hot day. We might just need to take a few things more slowly. Each out breath allows you just to soften a bit more. And relax. Have a moment to ground. So do this consciously in your mind's eye. Imagine the roots extending from tailbone perhaps, or feet. And just following the quality of your breath for a few moments. Come into feeling what you're feeling within. And then ever so gently we'll come to seated. If you're not already seated, then just hug your knees in. Have a moment to rock, and if you're already seated and you just want to roll the shoulders, move a little into the body before we sit still for 5 minutes. Take your time. Allow yourself to get comfortable. And then when you're seated, just rest the hands into Dhyana Mudra. And we're just going to take 5 minutes of lovely quiet time. Follow the breath. Try and notice the gap between your thoughts. And then when you do notice a thought come in, try and stay with it. Be aware of it and follow it perhaps. And then maybe when that thought finishes, just come back to that gap between another one. So we're just going to sit and be. Basically just be. So close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Relax your face. And just breathing. Notice your thoughts. Following your breath. allowing any wisdom to come into your mind. Resting in the gap between thoughts. Conscious of your breath. And then we'll just take a few more breaths. And when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open, joining me. Whenever we have that quiet time, it allows us to follow the breath, but also when thoughts do come in, they might be answers to something, or someone's name might come in, so you visualize someone you've not spoken to for a while. So they can be little bits of guidance for us. So don't ignore them. Be open to guidance that you get. So we're going to come into butterfly. First pose, nice, lovely, gentle one. If you've got any pain in your hips, please be gentle. Perhaps don't bring the feet in as close to the body, or definitely maybe use some cushioning under the legs just to support the thighs a lot more. So just gently exploring where this pose is going to take you today. And if it does hurt a little in the hips, don't lean forward so much. Perhaps keep it more of an upright pose. And the beauty of yin is that we can sit in these poses and really kind of feel into them. And if they don't feel right to the degree that we've moved into it, we can always loosen out, come back, or move out of it entirely if we need to. Focus on your breath. And relaxing the face and head. Nice deep breaths. Bringing the breath to the belly. Where do you feel it most today? Is it hips or back. What's going on in your mind as well? Just observing that inner dialogue. How does this pose feel today? Feel emotionally as well as physically. And if there are parts of you that are sensing more of a deeper sensation than others, what's the body telling you here? Is there any wisdom that comes into mind as you tune into the area that might ache a little? So we'll take one more breath. Gently lift up, nice and slowly, and finding neutral. As you lift your legs to come into neutral spine, just tuning into how the hips feel, how each one feels, if one feels slightly out of balance with the other as well. Take a lovely long deep breath here, and as you sigh, try to let everything through your back soften and relax. Dropping your shoulders from your ears if they're sort of naturally hunched. And notice how many breaths it takes to really relax the muscles in either side of your spine, especially lower spine. You might think you've relaxed, and then you'll go a level deeper and find that actually there's a little bit more tension in the mid part of the back and muscles. And it's a sort of a stepping down release of the tension that you're holding there. Trying to get to the place where you really are relaxing everything. That might take some time. So gently, when you're ready, hopefully everything has released, we'll draw our right knee in and then our left. Have a moment to rock. Nice deep breaths. So coming up to seated, I was going to do cocoon, which is where we sort of bring the leg out again, working that hip. But I think I've changed my mind. We'll come into caterpillar. And if you have perhaps a sort of a small rolled blanket, this can be a little bit nicer in this position. You can pop it under the knees as we extend the legs out. And it just sort of loosens the tightness of this pose so that we can actually get a bit more stretch into the back. So you can choose whether you want something under the knees. I'm going to try this today. And then just gently allow yourself to soften forward. So a lovely stretch for the whole back of the body here. And we are stimulating our bladder. So the health of the urinary bladder. try to relax. It takes a little while. Notice if you're tight, sort of holding the legs upright and together. As you relax, they may rotate a little. And even though we're folding the body forward into this compression, see if you can breathe deeply to your belly and your chest. Feel the back open up and spread. Relaxing the upper part of your back and across the shoulders. And noticing if your face is tight. If you have taken a little blanket under the knees and you want to explore the idea of maybe moving that out, you can do. Notice where you're feeling sensation the most. Keep following your breath. And how does this pose feel for you today? What's going through your mind? And perhaps noticing if there's a little bit more movement that you can come into this pose now that we've been it a fair while. Let's take 2 more conscious breaths together. And we'll gently lift up. Really nice and slowly. Notice how heavy the head feels when we do this. And then coming back. Just sort of remembering how that feels to come forward. We'll counterpose this with bench with the next pose. Just lying down, just absorb whatever you're feeling. And again, checking in how long it takes to really relax your spine and back. Relaxing the buttocks, lower back muscles. Just keep looking through seeing where else you can soften. And lovely, gentle, deep, soft belly breaths. Gently, as all that fades, we'll hug our knees in. Right one, then left. Take your time. Really notice how it feels to draw knees in and on the lower back. And enjoy a few rocks. If it feels nice, just draw the head up towards the knees as well. Okay, roll up to seated. And then if you've got a cushion, bench is our next pose. And you might want a little rolled blanket perhaps for the neck. Keep one handy perhaps. Taking that a few inches behind you, we're going to come back. And just relax. Enjoying stretching the spine in the opposite direction now. Nice long inhale and sigh on your exhale. And relax. Notice where you feel supported. If you're still holding any tension, just see if you can hone in on that, let that go. Following your breath in your belly. And in the quiet moments, just following your thoughts as well. Is there anything else you can relax? How do you feel emotionally here? Noticing if this is a pose that you really enjoy, or whether it's a pose that actually still challenges you a little. Just following your breath in your belly. Enjoy this mental space. Checking in with how it feels to breathe, whether it feels like the lungs are more open. And we'll take one more breath together. Sigh it out. And then lifting your head really slowly, just lift as much as you can to pull your cushion away. Slide back down to the mat. Enjoy that feeling. Even though that's such a very relaxing pose, notice if you have got some tension in your body, just hiding. And then gently hugging in. Give yourself a little love. We're going to come into hammock next. So this is where you'll need your strap. Just have a few moments to enjoy rocking on your back first. And then rolling up. Grabbing your strap now. I always like to start on the right. So placing it around the foot, then lie down, lift your leg up, bend into your knee, and then just begin to position it round the back of your head, not the neck. Always just that lower part of the sort of skull, that occipital ridge there. And it sort of covers the tops of your ears, so just definitely not the neck, just the base of the head. And in this position, you can push into the foot and have a nice little gentle tug along the neck, or you can let the head become really heavy and experience that sort of stretch that you get through the back of the leg, the hamstring. So play with the two positions and what feels nice for you as you take the time in this pose. You might really like to just let the legs soften and let the head become quite heavy. Closing the eyes perhaps, and just relaxing here. It's nice to elevate the legs towards the end of a practice and just sort of give the heart a rest and let all the fluids flood back towards the body. So noticing what you're feeling here. Perhaps it's sort of the back of the top of the leg, around the buttock area that you're feeling stretched, hamstring muscle. As you push into the foot, noticing what you feel through the neck. Just being gentle if you have a tender neck. What's going through your mind? Just track that inner dialogue for a moment. How fast is your mind going? Is it jumping from thought to thought? Or are you on a steady thread? And the last part of this pose, I always like to just unhook the strap and take a minute or so just holding and playing with a little bit of movement here, just slow movements, taking your leg out to the side, noticing how that feels in the hip, being very gentle if there's issues there, feeling that inner stretch on the inner thigh. Noticing where it feels nice to straighten the leg as well, and where it's necessary to bend. And taking the opportunity to really notice all the parts of your body that engage when you move slightly differently, the muscles that you start to feel. The joint of the hip. And just generally how you can move this limb. When your hamstring starts to stretch, perhaps when you feel it in the calf or the back of the knee. Just being curious. If you take your leg across you, whether there's any discomfort. And then when you're ready, just lower your right leg. Have a moment as we take a neutral spine, just to reflect on how that feels. Perhaps you can feel some nice tingling or sensation in the back of your leg. Perhaps a warmth in your foot. Just feeling it fade, whatever you're feeling. And then we'll gently come into the other side. So if you haven't already swapped your strap over to the other side, just pop it around the ball of the foot on the left, lifting leg. Gently lift the head just so you can tuck the strap behind the base of the head, not the neck. And again, exploring this pose. If you want to bend your right knee, you can, but I find if you have the leg straight, it creates a little bit more balance. How does this feel? You might find that one leg, your hamstring and the back of the leg muscles are a lot tighter. Enjoy pushing into the foot, and a gentle pull on the back of the head and neck. And then relaxing that, let the head become heavy. Become aware if your breath is shallow or whether you can consciously bring the breath to belly and then open up into chest. Relaxing your face. As you allow this pose to progress, perhaps your head just sort of gets a bit heavier and you feel that deeper stretch into the leg. Even if you have to bend the knee, that's fine. Noticing if at a certain point your leg starts to sort of quiver or shake a little. Following your breath. What do you enjoy more, the stretch through the neck or the stretch through the leg? And when you're ready, unhooking. If you want to, you can stay here if you want to, no problem at all. If you like to kind of have a little bit of play here, then unhook, holding the strap, let your head rest down to the mat and just explore how it feels to move really gently. Any differences from this side to the other side? You can really kind of isolate the feelings a bit more. Thinking how marvellous we are when you do take these small movements, and there's so much going on internally to create whatever you're perhaps feeling or the range of motion that you have. We really are very marvellous. When you're ready, just slowly let your leg come down. Unhook your foot from your strap and just take a nice long neutral spine here. Definitely feeling perhaps tingly on your feet. Enjoying some conscious breaths to your belly. As you lie here, I'd like you to think of a pose that you want to do now yourself, yogi's choice. It might be a two-sided one, like banana, in which case just sort of giving a few minutes to each. or choosing one pose that your body just craves, or you just know it's going to feel right. I know some of you will like waterfall. You can bring your knees in and hug for a moment now. You might want to come into a twist. Or turtle, mantis. Have a little moment to think about what you might enjoy. This hedgehog, that happy baby kind of pose. So coming into a pose that you feel your body needs. If you take the pose and feel it doesn't feel right, please come out, choose something else. This is 5 minutes to maybe even take a couple of poses, whatever feels good. Allow your body to guide you. And it might not be sort of a classic yin pose. It might just be a shape that you just need to make. Please allow your body to guide you with this. Relaxing your face. And feeling the breath deeply into your body. You might find that you actually want to revisit another pose that we've already done, so please do. How do you feel? Just noticing what your body really enjoys about the particular pose you've chosen. Maybe there's a certain meridian that is prominent with the pose you've chosen that particularly benefits you. Trying to relax anywhere in your body that you find a little bit of tension. Nice long deep breaths. So we'll just take another breath or two. Slowly coming out of the pose you've chosen, find neutral spine. Moving slowly. Deep breath. Noticing whatever you're feeling through your body, whether there is signs of chi moving, cold, warmth, tingling. And then when you're ready, finding your restful position. If that's continuing to lie down, please allow yourself to get comfortable. Support your knees, maybe your head or neck. And if you want to come to seated, you can do as well, whatever feels right for you. Drawing a card from the pack. So if you have a question in mind or a quandary, you just need some guidance in some strange way, just be open. One has fallen out. And I'll take another. Okay, 2 today. This may or may not apply to you, this first one. So this one is opal. Your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. Your worries about your children have been received as prayers here in heaven. We understand your concerns, so we surround the souls and bodies of your children with our loving care. This is a time for you to release your children to God and know that your Creator is their true parent. God is pure love, without judgment or anger. He could never abandon you or your children, nor would he want to. As one of your children's guardian angels, I watch over them ceaselessly. I never tire of keeping my watchful eye upon them, for as I gaze upon your children, I see their divine light. I see their true perfection, their goodness, their innocence. I ask that you see your children through my eyes, which will help their love and light to be expressed. I love you, I love your children, and your children love you. Which is a lovely one, whether we have them near us or far. So, and whatever God means to you, whether it's a source energy, just apply that to how you feel. And then we have another card that we've taken. Oceana, take action. You're in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. Dive right in. There is no need for more research or time. You can trust your feelings on this one. I will guide you through the actions that are necessary, considering the circumstances. Your main concern is to avoid procrastination at all costs. Break the situation down into small steps so that you don't feel overwhelmed. Then take those steps in regular intervals. You already know what to do about this situation, and you have made up your mind to take action. I am here to validate that your decision is the path of light. Although there may be some temporary hard work or emotional turmoil, this will soon be replaced by lightness of spirit akin to gently floating on a summer breeze. Sometimes you may feel too emotional or tired to take action. That is because you're unsure of the correctness of your decisions. Usually, unfounded guilt is the culprit that is draining your energy and happiness. This is when it's very important to call upon the angels to shore up your faith. Notice how the doors open smoothly with each step you take. There is one more sign that you're taking the best course of action. So I'll leave you with that little piece of advice as well. Just take some time now. Relax. Gently when you're ready. Just bringing your awareness back to your body and where you are. Taking some nice deep breaths. And a long sigh. Maybe beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes now. Just coming back into your body, back into your day, nice and slowly. If you're lying down, just hug your knees in. Enjoy a few rocks from side to side. Rolling up to seated when you're ready. And then hands, heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.